What's up guys, I'm Colleen and today I felt like doing a storytime video. I'm currently in Las Vegas with my bae who is laying on the bed. You can see his feet over here. We both feel a little bit nauseous for no reason because neither one of us have been drinking or doing anything weird, so we're just lame, I guess. Anyway, I asked you guys on Twitter what story you wanted me to talk about, and it was very close, but the winner was getting drunk in church. Also, I want to tell this story kind of quick because we just got room service and my chicken wings are here and I am like desperate to eat them. Okay, I've never told this story before, and I'm gonna try to be as discreet as possible because I don't want to call anybody out, but I'm about to throw a lot of shade. A long time ago, I went on a trip with an organization. I'm gonna leave that part of it out. But if you guys wanna hear more details, like that's a whole other story that is very frustrating. So I went on this trip with a bunch of people. We thought the trip was going to be a very beneficial, wonderful, uplifting experience for others, and it turned out to be the opposite. I am so yellow right now. I apologize for the lighting. I can't fix it. I'm sorry. Basically, to make a very long story short, or at least that part of the story, we had a horrible time. It was not a good experience. People were lying and stealing money, and it was just a bad experience overall. Now, maybe I'll tell you guys that part of the story another time. We were in another country. One of my friends was having a birthday while we were on this trip, and so we decided to cheer her up. It was the last night of the trip, get some alcohol and celebrate her birthday with her and make it something special. We happened to be staying in a church that night. We stayed at different host homes and different people's houses throughout the trip to save money so we didn't have to stay in hotels. And that particular night we were staying at a church. We got a bottle of champagne. One bottle of champagne to share amongst, like, I think there's probably like 10 girls in the room or something like that. So we got little paper cups, like these tiny little cups, and we all shared the champagne in these tiny little cups. So we all got like this much champagne, all right? And no one's drunk, no one's getting crazy. I think eventually a couple girls showed up that had been drinking like out on the streets, but like they were not part of my shindig. So anyway, there were some other girls that were at this church on this trip, and they found out that we were having alcohol, and they tattled on us, which is so annoying. So they tattled on us. The people in charge came in and saw that we were drinking, and it was this big thing, and they're like, we're gonna deal with this when we get back to the States. Now, mind you, we were all over 18, and in the country we were in, it was legal to drink if you're over the age 18. But we are Americans, so I guess they thought there was gonna be an issue with that when we got home. So we get home and we get back to school. It was a school trip. I get pulled into like a counselor's office. Each one of the girls that was involved in this alcohol debacle was pulled into a counselor's room to discuss the problem, one at a time, individually. So I went in and they said, we found out that you were drinking on the trip. Is that true? And I said, yes, I was. I just had a little sip of champagne and that was it. It was my friend's birthday. We were trying to cheer her up. And I said, you know, we're all over 18. We didn't know it would be an issue because it's legal there to drink over 18. And she was like, all right, cool. Left. Come to find out that all the other girls that were involved in the alcohol drinking scandal lied when they were brought into the counselor's office. So everyone else said, I did not drink, I didn't have a sip of it. I was the only one who was honest and said that I had alcohol. So I got in huge trouble because they're like, all these other girls said they didn't have alcohol. This one girl said she did have alcohol. And from the stories that we heard, there was crazy drunkenness happening. So they thought that I was like this drunken mess. So the stupidest people in the world dealing with the situation, they thought, okay, this girl had alcohol, she has a problem. So here was my punishment for having a sip of champagne on a school trip at a church. I was on probation for an entire year. I had to participate in Alcohol Awareness Week. I had to get a mentor that I met with once a week to discuss my alcohol problems, and I had to take AA classes. I was a part of AA because I had a sip of champagne on a school trip. This is a true story. This actually happened to me. They also contacted my family and told my family, your daughter has an alcohol problem. She was caught drinking. This is very serious. And of course, my mom called me and I was like, Mom, I had a sip of champagne. And she totally didn't care because my mom trusts me, unlike all of the people at the school. And I feel like a lot of you can relate to this story because I feel like teachers do this all the time where they don't trust the students and they think you're all liars and they punish you in the most absurd, stupid ways in the whole entire universe. Oh my God, it was infuriating. So that that is my story about getting caught drinking in a church. I've never been drunk in a church. I've barely ever been drunk in general. It wasn't during a church service. It was late at night because we were sleeping there, and I had a sip of champagne to try to make my friend feel better after we'd had the worst trip of our lives, and that was my punishment. It was really stupid. But I want to know your guys' stories in the comments below. Tell me, has anything like this ever happened to you where teachers like thought you were lying and you got punished like a crazy amount for something really little or something you didn't even do wrong? I'm just interested to see how many other people can relate to this stupid experience that I had, which is really frustrating. It was so annoying. It was awful. Yeah, that's my story. If you want to know the first part of the story and about the trip and how awful that was, and oh my god, like I could go on and on about that forever, but I feel like it would cause a lot of political issues. So, but I love you guys. Thanks for watching. You wanted me to do a story time video today instead of Colleen's Corner, so this is what you get. I love you, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.